And Onur Erim joins us here in our studio. He is a political advisor. He's also a writer. And you were telling me earlier that you were a bit surprised by this warm welcome that President Trump gave to President Erdogan. Explain that.
Well, in the last week or so, the week to 10 days, both the Turkish press, the Turkish public, and mainly most of Europe has been putting this extraordinary pressure on this meeting. They almost made it out to be that at the end of this meeting, Turkey will either go to war with the U.S. or the exact opposite will happen. Well, long and behold, yesterday we saw that there was the definite and concrete explanations about the relationship between the two countries that date back as far back as to late 1700s. So I think it surprised everybody, especially when you make the comparison of the greeting of President Trump for President Erdogan to what has happened about a month ago with Chancellor Merkel and how he treated Chancellor and how he has treated Mr. Erdogan yesterday. So I think it was a bit surprising to everybody how warm the welcome was and how heartfelt it was with the words, with the body gestures, with the symbolism and everything else.
So during this meeting, they sort of agreed on what they disagreed on, if you will. That, of course, involved the YPG. How likely is it, do you think, that these two leaders are going to see eye to eye on that kind of subject?
I think they started yesterday. I think that we don't know the details of the meeting. Obviously, until and unless we hear from either one of the presidents as to the details of the meeting, we could only guess. But yesterday, I think the important thing was when President Erdogan, which was pretty much unexpected, declared Turkey's point of view on YPG-PYD and its request on FETÖ terrorist organization in front of the world, right beside President Trump. And when Trump didn't react, which he could have, as in many cases expected, he made his point. He said, this is where we stand, so these are our lines, red lines. Be careful when you treat these. And now, besides these, now let's talk about other issues. And as you saw, President Trump, when he started his speech, started from Korean War and the relationship that evolved even from then, even before. And he said, let's talk about these, fine, but we also have economic issues to talk about. We have trade issues to talk about, and let's see how we could strengthen our relationship. So I think that point started yesterday.
And is there any significance to the fact that President Trump really took his decision about the YPG just in the days before Erdogan came to visit him in Washington? Does that mean anything?
Let's make 2 points very clear, Tatiana. Number one, this decision was not made by Trump. It was made by probably mainly Pentagon, as most military issues have.
Well, the Trump administration.
And also, let's not forget, what they did 2 days ago is actually officialize what they had been doing in the last 11 months. Now, we have to also, when we think about things, even things about ourselves that concern this country, Turkey, we have to realize what's going on in the U.S. Bear in mind that Trump has not been able to change most of the bureaucrats that are left from Obama. The top official that deals with Daesh and Syria matter is still the person that was appointed by Obama. So I think we should give him a little time. President Erdogan made a very serious, very important comment 2 days ago. He said, we do realize going into this meeting in D.C. that the Trump administration is still in a transitional period. So I think we have to look at the things in grand scheme of things and analyze every issue, even the small ones like that, with that.
And what about the two leaders themselves? Is there any similarity? Do you see similarities between President Trump and President Erdogan? And if so, what are they?
I think that in May, and we'll see this in the days, in the years coming, but I think both presidents being against the status quo is number one. They don't accept what should be accepted by the general public. They only accept and preach, so to speak, as to what they believe in and what their constituents want them to act. But even before that, I think if you look at back to 2002, how President Erdogan was actually named in this country that he couldn't even hold the smallest political post, yet he became the prime minister, and how you look at how Trump was ridiculed in most places, that it was a joke. He couldn't even be a president. I think if you look at the way they came into power, and how they were treated coming in and how they're treated even in power in the first days. There's very big similarities. In the coming up period, in the months or years, I would not be surprised if the world, who mostly seem to not be able to connect with Donald Trump, would seek the help of President Erdogan, who could be his very good partner, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if the world actually seeks President Erdogan's help to reach out to President Trump.
We will have to watch. We'll have
Absolutely.
to wait to see if your prediction actually happens. Onur Erim, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tatiana.